Welcome everyone one more time to Saturday Night Hype, the last Saturday Night Hype of the year. Because we've got the Oblivion Pre-Show next week and Oblivion the week after that. Triple threat hardcore tornado tag. Let's get it going. I am the Colonist. It's Raining Souls, the Greasy Green Gigolos, and Tenacious E all fighting for a spot further up that tag team ladder. And you know that we have a very intense division. When it comes to the tag teams, we have got quite a few that have come together in recent months, as well as a few that have broken up in the past several weeks. Of course, the dissolving of Salt and Pepper just a couple of weeks ago. We saw the Rangers implode. But then again, for every one of those teams, we've got Ermac and Rain, who have made their impression here, just giving Johnny Cage a hand as part of the Kombatants in a unsuccessful effort against the Forgotten Fighters, but that did not stop these two from persevering against same Forgotten Fighters in a tag match at Thanks Grappling. And now here we are, bringing you the hottest action we possibly can. Hardcore triple threat tornado tag. Here comes Tenacious E, comprising of Big Bowser Daddy, Jack Black, as well as the man from the Moon Eclipse, and Moon Mama is watching, as he has watched all of Eclipse's matches this year, for better or worse. That kind of pressure has really fueled him to learn a little bit under the tutelage of his father, who has just done so much in this industry, not only in the professional wrestling sphere, where he's really been a captivating figure, albeit somewhat of a malicious one lately, for the fact that he just was not getting anything going with his special pants, went into Bowser mode, and it seems to have benefited him in the long term. But will they have enough to get through tonight, eclipse the largest men in this match, and who will be able to get him down? And just to clarify the rules here in Corleone's hardcore triple threat tag matches, as one half of the Greasy Green Gigolos makes his way to the ring in Reptile, pinfalls can happen anywhere in the ring, anywhere outside the ring. It's falls count anywhere, as these six men just go at it with weapons and graps and whatever they can find. It's going to be mayhem, folks. We've done quite a few of these triple threat hardcore tornado tag matches, and it's, especially as a one-man booth as we have here tonight, it is going to be a little bit challenging to make that call, but we will make that call. But of course, you want to make sure that dial isn't turned. You want to make sure that that phone number isn't hung up and picked to a different one, because CIW has got so much coming to you to wrap up this year. What a year it has been. And right at the forefront of that, as far as the tag team division goes, are the Greasy Green Gigolos, who are definitely looking for one more shot at the CIW Tag Team Championships. And here comes Piccolo, the man who has not stopped shucking and jiving since he arrived in CIW, with the exception of when the match really has gotten some grudge to it, which we have seen a couple of times, where they have gone back to the King of Stoicism era, the way that Reptile and Piccolo are known to. But the fact that they've loosened up so much in CIW, I think, is what has appealed to many people regarding the Greasy Green Gigolos. I mean, this is the least uptight I have ever known Piccolo to be, and it's just gotten more and more frivolous. But that doesn't mean that his eyes aren't on the prize. Every time that he steps into that ring, no matter how much shucking and jiving he's doing, he's fighting with everything he's got. And the other four members in this match have to be careful of that special beam pile driver that we've seen put away a number of people, including Batman, of all people. And so Piccolo, he's got some credentials to his name. What does that mean, and will it translate here in this chaotic Saturday Night Hype matchup? We thank you very much for inviting us into your home here on this Saturday evening. Of course, next week we have the three-match pre-show that is main evented by, speaking of broken tag teams, Eminem with James Marks versus Dave Chappelle, as we find out after they've dissolved and we found out the loyalties of James Marks back in Thanks Grappling, and a nice headlock takeover there, a nice vertical suplex there by Reptile, as the Greasy Green Gigolos have taken command of the ring to start this matchup. Referee Luke Goss assigned to this contest. And now a Boston Crab by Piccolo. Ermac slapping the taste out of the mouth of Eclipse. And meanwhile, Reptile and Rain going at it a little bit. It is one fall to a finish here in this matchup. And now a nice double team throwing Rain's head to the mat, trying to stop that thunderstorm. That did, and another flapjack, and the Greasy Green Gigolos double teaming moves, isolating opponents. This is why they have been at the top of the tag team division for almost the entire year. And for things like this, and a right hand from Ermac, down goes Reptile. Rain is putting Piccolo to sleep, and so far it hasn't gotten too hardcore, but it looks like Tenacious E might change that. But smart move by Jack Black and Eclipse, kind of just going out and surveying the field. And we've seen them do this before. You know, they are definitely known to pick their spots. That has been the expertise of this tutelage that Jack Black has given Eclipse, and it really has advanced him as an athlete. And I think it really is providing Eclipse with a strong fatherhood figure that he may not have had in the early going, because Jack Black was too busy with his music career. And, you know, you can't blame him for that, putting food on the table. And, wait, and a botch! As Piccolo went to hit Ermac and got Reptile instead. And I'm sure that that was not intentional, but when there's 6 people going at it, there's a weapon fight on the outside with Rain and Eclipse. And I told you this was going to be hard to call, folks. And now all 6 of these men know what this means. You know, you win this match, you get moved up the card. And of course, whoever is going to be waiting for them at some point down the road, we've got some major tag teams going at it. One of the big matches on Oblivion on the 30th and 31st of December is Team Nintendo, which is Mario, Wario, and Waluigi against the Shades of Black. 2 major tag teams in that front. Of course, the tag titles, Batman and Penguin of DC going up against Chrono Cross, who were victorious, I should say, against Tenacious E in the cage match at Hollow Wrestling. And all of these matches just showing, of course, speaking of, Mario and Riddick are going after each other one-on-one in that same pre-show next week, kind of as a little taste of what we'll see come Oblivion. And we've got many more matches on top of that. It's a 2-day, 4 matches apiece card. Mr. Clean, the rehabilitated Mr. Clean, going up against Captain Pollution. Got Abizzle and Corleone going up against Joker and the Flash after multiple, basically a whole year of the Joker feuding with NWE, CIW establishment. I'm getting my federations mixed up here. Against CIW personnel, as we saw, of course, the assaults, multiple assaults. AB got kidnapped, but we will see Abizzle come the pre-show, and we will also hear from him come day 1 of Oblivion. Josh again is joining us on New Year's Eve for day 2. And so stick around for all of that. It is some very intense action, of course, main evented by the rematch of the CIW Heavyweight Champion Shiva, who shocked the world at Autumn Asylum and beat Kratos, but Kratos wants his title back. You see that main event of day 2 of Oblivion. Of course, the Exceeds title, Aquaman, the newly 3-time champion Aquaman, against the former champion Noob Saibot. And we are going to, that's going to be another main event match. And the Women's Championship, Natalie Portman versus Yuna. Ken Masters versus Sagat in a no DQ 20-minute Ironman. It is going to be a huge 2-day extravaganza to wrap up this 2023. As all of these men are now on the outside, there's so many weapons abounding that who knows who's going to get lacerated first, if any, but most of the time somebody gets busted open in these matches. Oh, and the mist! Reptile got Ermac with the mist on the outside, and that is all valid. And now, oh god, and Eclipse just raking that barbed wire bat onto the epidermis of Rain's skull. Thank god he's wearing that mask, because that could end up being, that would be a real fast lane for laceration. But all 6 of these men, and of course Luke Goss just trying to, you know, he's only really here to ring the bell or call for the submission. There really are no rules to speak of. You know, he can give people the business, but this is going to be a pretty aggressive fight no matter which way you spin it. And now going, Piccolo bringing Reptile back into the ring to slap the taste out of his mouth and chest. And right now, Jack just sledgehammer in hand, or I'm sorry, barbed wire bat in hand, just waiting. And you see this, and both Eclipse and Jack Black have taken a lot of time to camp, and it may not have benefited Jack in that exchange. Sledgehammer shot to the chest. And now another weapon fight in the middle of the ring, and Jack smartly leaving the ring. The Greasy Green Gigolos, Reptile now in the ring, has control of the high ground. But will that be enough? And trying to go after Jack Black for that weapon fight, and Jack just one step ahead of him. Meanwhile, we got a whole mess of things. Oh, what a German from Eclipse onto Piccolo right there on the outside. as all three teams look to push their standings up just ever so slightly up that ladder. Oh, wait a second. It's the Rainmaker. He got, or the Rainbringer, I guess it would be, the cover, and Jack Black doesn't even stay down for one. As Rain, and now Ermac just did a special beam pile driver. He just took Piccolo's finish, the cover. Nobody's looking at him. Two, and no, only two. No one was paying attention, and Ermac almost stole one from the Greasy Green Gigolos with a special beam pile driver. What a, and speaking of, 1-2 Eclipse, as Piccolo gets right back up. Rain has got Jack Black and taken care of. Cover 1, 2, 3. He pinned him. Wow. After taking his own finish, Piccolo gets up, lands one on Eclipse, and seals the deal as the Greasy Green Gigolos finish off their year with a big win over this CIW Tag Team Division. Two stalwarts in Tenacious E and Rain and Ermac. What a matchup. And just further showing just how strong Piccolo is, how enduring Piccolo is, and Reptile the same. These two guys, they've got momentum on their side. Thank you all for coming this Saturday night. Hype! And we'll see you at the pre-show next week, folks.